Hey guys, today I'm letting you to watch this. The video my mom found my secret diary and read what I really think about her.
Hello friends, it's me, coming to you from quarantine. Today's video is about a mom who found her daughter's secret diary. It gets pretty bad.
Hi, I'm Sophia.
Hi, Sophia.
During the first 8 years of my life, I was a scapegoat for my mom, while other people considered her to almost be a saint. And once I got really desperate, my grandmother came to rescue me.
Isn't that how it goes? When parents can't take their kids anymore? Grandma's house.
When I was 4, my dad left my mom. He actually never showed up after that.
Well, heck.
Sorry, honey, I went to the store to get toilet paper. They didn't have any, so I never came back.
He never showed up after that, but I vividly remember the day he was leaving. I was playing out in the front yard of our house, and he was in such a rush that he stepped over one of my toys and it broke. Pretended like he didn't notice anything, while my mom was running after him, crying and begging him to change his mind and stay.
Yikes.
No, Karen, I don't want your casserole nor your love. Be gone.
Since then, something that I call Mama's bad days started. She'd always been a bit too emotional. Like, for example, when she couldn't find a perfect parking space near the supermarket, she would just get angry, drive away, and not buy anything. Usually she calmed herself down really easily and fast, and Dad really helped her with this.
Can you believe this, Sophia? Absolutely no parking spaces? Forget dinner, forget groceries. We're leaving. There's a
My mom is like that.
But after he left us, she became
Not
even
that
more
much.
explosive over little tiny things, and I constantly found myself on the receiving end of her bad temper. Once she entered my room to say that it was time for me to take a bath while I was playing with my toys under a tent I had made from chairs, pillows, and blankets. When she saw this mess, as she called it, she turned red with anger, ruined the whole tent thing, and started throwing everything around the room, while saying that I was the most naughty and stupid child in the world. And this was actually quite a frequent reaction of hers toward me playing with toys.
What? It's a child. She doing child things. Be glad she ain't making TikToks. I thought she got mad at her at the mess she made. Instead, makes an even bigger mess.
I've said I'm sorry, Mommy, so many times in my life, and for a variety of reasons. She was working in a law firm, and I was going to a preschool, and practically every morning of mine started with my mom, who was nervous because, as she said, it took her forever to wake me up and get me ready to go. While she was driving, she was already answering her business calls, and she always got annoyed whenever I asked her a question. But when she was leaving me at preschool, she acted like the best mom in the world, with so many kisses and hugs. I felt like I loved her more than anything in the world, to the point that I sort of immediately forgot that she had yelled at me, like 10 minutes ago. I sometimes heard my teachers talking to each other about my mom, and they would say that she was a very strong woman, having left and become a single mom. Usually, I was enormously proud when I heard that, and I sort of believed with all my heart that my mom was really doing great.
Yeah, she's a good mom. She has a good job. Hashtag boss babe. But likes to yell at me. She just got anger issues. She just need to go on Dr. Phil is all. A few weeks at the ranch, she'll be good as new.
But then another bad day would happen, and I was once again apologizing for driving Mom crazy. I spent every weekend at my grandparents' house because my mom would say that she was really tired from working so much and from her daily routine, and that she just needed to relax a little bit.
Mommy needs to party on the weekends.
I liked being there, though. Granny often got me involved in cooking. They never yelled at me. Years passed, and I had pretty much gotten used to my mom's temper and our weekends spent separately. But I still felt really bad whenever she yelled at me for nothing. For example, once she had some problems at work, and she returned home very tired and angry. And we were told at school that we had to do an art project, and I was really hoping that Mom would help me finish it. She not only got irritated that I chose the worst time possible to ask her that, she also ruined everything that I had already done in her regular fit of rage.
Ooh, that's horrible. I mean, I know that feel when somebody's mad and then they start taking it out on you for no reason. Me exists.
What did you say?
I cried all night long. The next day at school,
My
I was
brother
the only
is
one who
like
had failed
this.
to do that project. So I told my teacher the actual reason
When
that
he's
I didn't have
angry,
my project. This was the first time.
When he's angry, he starts to punch me. What did I do, Mom?
that I had ever decided to tell the truth about my mom. My teacher didn't believe me. Even worse, she called my mom and asked her to come to school to discuss my lies. And when my mom came, she made up a story that it was our neighbor's dog who ruined my papier-mâché thing.
The teacher's face. Oh no, the dog? 2020, this teacher would have got fired. You can't be like, hey, you're lying. Your mother did not do that. Karen is a nice lady.
Hey, Karen, come to school right now. Come see the lies your child made up about you.
On our way home, Mom, as usual, began saying how sorry she was for being rude the other day and for creating problems for me. I saw that she was really embarrassed and sorry for her behavior, so I forgave her. Of course, I was terribly upset, but she promised me that she would control herself in the future, and I believed her again.
Oh man, I would have been terrified. If that was my parents, there are two kinds of parents. One, like Karen, would apologize. The second would give you a double dose of smackings when you get home.
I felt that I needed a place to merge my thoughts and grievances, so I just took an empty notebook and started keeping a diary. I wrote down everything that I could recollect at once, and when I looked at the clock, I realized that I'd been writing for about 2 hours. I felt slightly better, so I kept writing daily about everything that was happening around me. It was not just about my mom, and I kept my secret notebook below my mattress so that my mom couldn't find it.
Wow, hiding spot level 100. Nobody will ever look under my mattress. Too heavy. Logic. All your child's secrets are under there.
What can I say? After that, things improved a bit. Mom at least tried to stay patient. Actually, she even started being a bit more attentive to me, helping me with my homework a couple of times without getting irritated. But then I found out the real reason for my mom's emotional stability. Once, on Sunday evening when I had just returned from my grandparents', my mom was in a really great mood. She was cooking and her hands were kind of dirty. When her cell phone rang, she asked me to give her the phone, and I just accidentally glanced at the screen.
Oh, we know why mommy's in a good mood. Smash like if you know why.
Somebody named Eric was calling, and my mom was giggling and smiling while talking to him. Apparently, I had that astonished look on my face because as soon as my mom hung up the phone, and she was kind of excited, by the way, she said that she hoped I didn't mind if she had started dating again. I met Eric about a week after his phone call with my mom. Honestly, I didn't like him. You see, even though my mom has a bad temper, she's a very attractive woman.
My dude looked like the Can I Have a Hug co-worker. Oh wait, hold up. Is she dating Steven Universe?
Eric was shorter than her and a little bit chubby, and when he came to take us to the amusement park, it was Saturday, which actually meant that I had to skip my trip to my grandparents. So yes, this also set me up a little to be against him. Despite the fact that we went to the park together, I felt terribly lonely.
Wait, does she not like him because how he looks or how he acts?
My mama could do better than you.
I mean, mama be looking like if Crimson Shin was a Karen.
I was riding the carousels on my own, while Mom paid almost no attention to me and was completely absorbed by chatting with Eric. I got really tired after about an hour and said that I wanted to go home, but my mom apparently wanted to spend some more time with her boyfriend. So I was whining and I didn't want to do anything, and my mom eventually got annoyed with me, as usual. I accidentally dropped an ice cream on my t-shirt, and she said that I did it on purpose just to make them take me home.
Dang, her mom, so scary. She scared the ice cream off the cone. Bye. That ice really screamed.
Everything ended up with Eric driving me and my mom back home. A few hours later, I found out that they split up. Do you want to know how I knew? Mom once again began crushing everything around her and yelling at me, saying that if I were a normal child and had just behaved while we were at the park, Eric would not have left her. But since I was terrible and made Mom angry at me, he thought that she was angry all the time. And then she said that I had ruined her life, and that if she hadn't had me, she would have been married again a long time ago.
Ooh, you don't say that to your kid. That is messed up. And then surprise, surprise, when her daughter grows up, she'll blame her mom for all her problems. And then y'all end up on Dr. Phil. And then maybe you'll get famous.
Then she told me to get whatever I needed because she was going to give me to my grandparents since, as she put it, she needed some space for the rest of the weekend. This time, I took my diary with me. You see, I hadn't had time to write in there about the latest events, and I felt that I really needed to do it. I managed to do it right before I went to sleep once I was already at Granny's house. The next morning, I found out that my top secret notebook had been exposed. Granny found it and read it and apparently told my mom about it.
No! Grandma, how could you do this? Grandma, you're supposed to be on my side. How could you? This is life ruining right here. You can't just be like, so your daughter wrote this, and this about you. Take a picture of the pages, send them to mother. Oh, no. I mean, but is she lying, though? would feel horrible if I was a mom, but I'd also not want to go back home if I was the kid.
When my mom came to take me back home, Granny told me to stay in my room, but I heard most of what they were talking about. In addition to the fact that my mom was being reprimanded for not taking care of her anger issues earlier, Granny insisted that she go to a clinic for special treatment. Otherwise, Granny promised to deprive her of her parental rights and take me from her.
Ooh, we got some mama drama going on. Mama versus mama. Grandma used her hot, crusty breath. Bam! It was super effective.
I heard my mom start to cry, and a few minutes later she entered my room, still crying really hard, and she was holding my diary in her hands. Apparently she read at least some parts of it and finally understood how badly she had been treating me. I spent a few months living at Granny's while my mommy was at the clinic, and even though it was the calmest period for me for a long, long time, I really missed my mommy. It's been a few years already since that story happened, and everything is normal. I mean, nobody yells for no reason, and I get grounded only for low grades or misbehavior, but I still sometimes find myself scared. What if Mama's bad days ever come back?
And they lived happily ever after. Okay, but this is relatable. Growing up, my dad would always scream and scream at us for like no reason. He was mad at anything. He had anger issues. There would always be screaming in my house. And like that stuff, when anyone screams at me now, it's like triggered. But look at me, I grew up just fine. No Dr. Phil or anything. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and make sure you turn on notifications. Click, and subscribe to the Wolfpack. Oh, I love you guys so much. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.
Oops.
Hello, friends. It's your favorite messy hair YouTuber trying to
My friends' dads are, when you bring anything, a lot of things with money that want money, without checking them, asks how much they cost. But my dad, nope. He bring everyone. He came to my house. He lives in Qatar. He bring me a phone and a drone, and my brother a phone, and he brought me a helicopter